Welcome, Amarachi, to our podcast. We're so excited to have you today on this
Thank you.
extremely sunny day in London. It's 33 degrees. So for
Yeah,
UK, it's
I think it's same in the US. It's like
really
super sunny and hot. So I'm happy I
wow.
can it now.
Yeah. Yeah, and especially doing this on first thing on your Saturday morning. So we really, really appreciate having you here, and especially our members. We've been having requests to have someone with your background for some time, so it's a blessing from the skies. But I won't steal the thunders. We would love to hear a little bit about who Amarachi is and what you're currently doing. And then we'll ask you some questions to learn a little bit more about your career background for anyone who is interested in pursuing a similar journey.
Thank you. So Amarachi, I am a performance poet, and not just a performance poet. I perform with mostly my indigenous language,
Mm,
even though I write fine poetry in English, but I decided to highlight more of the poetry in my written in my indigenous language. So, and not just any kind of poetry, it is chants. So
mm,
uh,
mm,
for some of for some people who do not understand what chant is, for instance, when you watch The Lion King or you go to see it on the Broadway, you will hear that first chime that will start the play. That is what chant is. The something like song, like a cappella kind of song. It's
mm.
what chanting is. For some people who watch the Black Panther a lot, you'll see a lot of chanting, and most of the Hollywood films today have some chanting there. I also came to the Royal National Theatre to in 2019 to 2020 to perform for like 4 months in a play known as The Three Sisters. So
Wow.
this is what I do, and by education, I have a BSc in mass communication, which is you might be calling it media studies, and I have an MA in media studies, and currently I am in the US trying to get another MA on museology and cultural heritage preservation, because
Mm,
I advocate for the sustainability of our culture and heritage, especially as regards to intangibles. Intangibles like the chanting I do, like dancing, like music, and all our arts, like crafts making and the rest of it.
mhm,
Because for me, these are the aspects of our lives that is gradually going into extinction, because we have some ideal career path in the society, and those who do not follow that career path become as though they are not, in quotes, part of the societal, the society, or the people to stand out in the society. So my career is a bit odd from the normal.
we love that. We love it.
So and I am here to perhaps encourage people who might think that they have passion for something that is not really widely accepted, and they are finding it difficult to come out and say, this is what I do.
Yeah.
So most times when I talk to people, this is the kind of vibe I get, like, what? How did you make that a career? But yes, I did it.
Yeah.
And you can, I am here. So
Uh,
roughly that is who Amarachi is. I do a whole couple of things, but all tied to my work today as a cultural icon, as a performance artist, and an advocate for those who still find it difficult to stand out,
mhm.
in a program we call Sound Your Gong, an advocate for our language and cultural heritage, because I think it is important. And everything I do now tied to that.
Yeah, of course. That's so fascinating. And it's such an interesting journey, like from media studies to like performance art, but in chanting. It seems
Yeah,
like maybe a niche within a niche. um, was this
exactly.
something? Maybe take a step back. Where did you do your media studies? Like the university. And yeah, how did you decide to go into performance art after that?
Okay, so I am originally from Nigeria, southeastern part of Nigeria. So I am Igbo. I did my first degree in Nigeria in the university known as Enugu State University of Science and Technology, and then I did an MA in the University of Nigeria, which is the #1 university in Nigeria. And then before I started my master's, I already started toying towards this path because I was writing. I had published some couple of small things as a student. I was in organizations like the Association of Nigerian Authors, like the Young Creative Writers of Nigeria. I always liked to, as a young girl, I always liked to be in those groups or societies that will help me get better. So being a part of that organization and being born in the northern part of Nigeria, where they speak a different language, which is the Hausa language, and the Muslim part of Nigeria. So I came back to my part of Nigeria, and I realized that a lot of kids, they weren't speaking their language. And for me, that was odd because I didn't see that in the north where I was born. So in trying to speak about this, like, why are children not speaking their language and they live in their lands? So that was a bit weird to me. So I started gradually speaking on that. But of course, writing in my language wasn't something I was ever thinking I would do, because being born in the north, I spoke Hausa. Of course, I spoke my language, but I didn't know if I had the capability to write in my language, really. So so that was how I started. And then not too long, there was this UNESCO prediction proscribing our language, the Igbo language, as going into extinct and endangered language, and will soon go out of existence if nothing is being done by 2050. So that started burning my heart. So I was looking for, how do I do something? Because this is crazy. How can a people who are more than 40 million living in Nigeria alone, their language does go into extinct? So, but I started studying, what causes that. So you see adults speaking the language, but as soon as they turn to a kid, they start speaking English language. And then you see parents who think that when their child begin to speak the language, they wouldn't be able to learn the English. I don't know who came up with that theory, but that was what a lot of parents were saying.
Yeah. What about in schools and universities? Do they mostly speak English as well?
Yeah, generally we school with English language from nursery, from preschool to university, to all that. So I started I started worrying about this. So before long, I was already working in the media, but for some reason, I started kind of presenting and producing programs in my language. I had like 5 programs, only one was in English. Wow. So I was there doing all kinds of programs. 2 was for kids, 2 for adults, and 1 in English. And then in that program, I tried to use it as a channel through which I can also propagate this message of language sustainability and all that. So because of that, I became a little bit exposed again to different kinds of arts, in the indigenous arts and all that. Yeah. But I had already written an article still on this in my language. So I took days and days to write an article in my language, encouraging parents to promote their kids to speak the language, to help their kids speak the language, because it is crazy for you not to know how to speak your language and you live in your land. It doesn't make sense to me. So that article went viral. Everybody was sharing the article.
Wow. What's the name of the article? I'd love to read it.
I would look for one of the links and send it. So it's in my language is Asusu Igbo. In Jemi Quality Asusu Igbo. So it was like a movement to promote our indigenous language. Wow. So I wrote the article and it was everywhere, and then I knew that okay. Then becoming a performer wasn't something I thought I would do, because then I had already started going to school speaking. I had always been a public speaker. I speak to people. I like to be out there, do debating and all that in school. So I had written a poem in my language again after the article started trending. And I
Mhm.
was looking for, how do I present this poem? So that, because even English poetry, people were finding it difficult. They don't like poetry. And
Yeah.
then this is me writing in my language. How do I really present it so that people will listen? And that was how I didn't know that there was something in me, even though my grandmother had told me, she had once given me a beat that I rejected, but later on, when she died, I took back the beat. So
Oh,
she told me that I was going to need it one day.
wow.
I'm trying to find out, how do I present this poem? I said, do I do it in a music form? I said, I don't know how to sing, so that is not a no-no. Do I do it in reading form? Oh, do I dramatize it? Oh, how do I go about this? So I stayed up night and night trying to find a way. And as soon as I decided to do it like a music form, even though I didn't know how to sing, I wasn't a good singer at all.
But you did.
I I started doing it, but not music now, not singing now, but chanting. And I'm like,
Mm.
what? Who did that? so, so, so I did it again. And like, ooh, I was surprised at myself because I didn't see that at all. And
Yeah.
then I went to event and I presented it, and it was woo, I got a standing ovation. And I knew that, okay, this is the journey. I was
Mm.
still in the media, I was still doing my programs, but I started looking for events to plead with them to allow me present. I was
Mm.
mocked, I was laughed at, I was bullied, I was, jeered at, like, what's this? What are you doing?
Mm.
Because this art is usually presented by old people in
Right.
our villages, in our indigenous community. And there is a young girl who just finished the university, who is even doing her master's, going around presenting an art that is supposed to be for old people, that's supposed to be extinct, that's not supposed to be existing anymore. And
Yeah.
then I pleading and begging to be allowed to perform. I am sure I've done more than 500 performances because I was going everywhere, traveling all over Igbo land, trying to participate, trying to beg, trying to perform. Because one of the things I tell young people is sound your gong. Sound your gong is a term I coined to
Mhm.
help me, as well as a lot of young people that work with me, to, you are the one to market yourself. The society might not accept you, your friends and family might not accept you, but it is your responsibility to sound your gong. So we have the gong, our indigenous instrument we call the ogene, which is very loud. And that is
Mm.
what we use as medium of communication in terms of announcements. So
Mm.
when there was an emergency, we played the ogene, which is the gong. And then in our musical instrument and dancing, we play the gong, which is one of the loudest instruments. So I would say sound your gong. So it is your responsibility to sound your gong, to do it over and over and over and over again until you are good, and until you are seen. So that was the mission. So I was
Did,
sounding the gong. I was
did,
going everywhere.
did anyone ever told you like don't do this, or like this career you're not gonna earn money from it, or it's not the right thing to do?
Yes, you can't imagine.
Mm.
You are in the media. I didn't tell you, another part was that I had to quit my job. I quit my
Wow.
job. So who
Scary.
does that? That was crazy.
Yeah.
So that was where people knew that, oh, she's crazy. There's not, you can't tell me otherwise. She's crazy. Like, how can you quit a media job
Everyone
to
wants one.
be running around begging to perform? Does that
Mm.
make sense? It doesn't make sense. So people, not just people who loved me, people who were like mentor, people who I respected, because remember, I was already in some organizations. I had some people who would call me as their dear girl that they loved
Yeah.
to advise me, and they will start with, some beautiful words and say, because I love you,
Mm-hmm.
I want to tell you to stop this path you are doing,
Oh,
because you are going to the path of destruction. You are not going to amount to anything.
yeah.
So people were brutal. People were not nice. I got nice people, of course. I wouldn't say everybody was bad. They were nice. There were people like, wow, I got that. And I
Yeah.
got like, what's that? You
Yeah.
know. I got the both. I got a whole lot of mockery, even from my peers. They are like laugh at you, like, because I would like to make my hair in the indigenous way, and I would, be in some costumes and beads and all that. That was crazy.
I
So
always say, like,
if I was my parents, I think I might be a little bit worried too at some point. Well, good enough. I had wonderful parents. My dad, who just passed some time ago, affected me because he was my highest cheerleader. And my mom, my family is that family that supports, even though they might not really be into it, but they would, a little, just give you a little space to see what you are trying to do, but they wouldn't like be rigid on you to stop. No, they might not come all out to say, "Oh, we are backing her," but they will not really also take that right from you to do something. So, yes, you get a lot of discouragement, brutal words. People tell you that you are going to regret this.
Wow.
People tell you that you are going to amount to nothing. People tell you that, I had thought you are wise, but now I know you are the most foolish person I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh.
People, it was.
Wow. How did you block all of these negativities and discouragements? Because sometimes even with encouragement, people can't follow their passion.
Yeah.
But with all of this negativity, how did you keep going and keep, well, you mentioned sound your chant. How did you keep doing it?
Yes. So I grew up not having it all. I didn't grow up from a rich home. It's very, very poor. So from being very poor in my family, I went to live with an auntie, which it wasn't easy living there too. So I hadn't had life easy for me. It had never been, an easy nut to crack. It was always the hard part, right? So at the end of the day, you know that this is your core, this is you, this is your life. It has never been easy anyway. So I exposed myself to more self-motivating things. For instance, I would go on YouTube and start looking for things to watch to keep me up. So I discovered America Got Talent, Britain Got Talent, all those stuff.
Yeah.
And I will watch young people going out to showcase their talent. It doesn't matter what the talent is, but they would have the space to go all out there to show it anyway. I started looking for programs, and I was just, going around looking for things that would help me. I had my little space, so I didn't have friends. I tried to avoid friends because I always got this discouragement anyway.
Yeah.
So I try to stay away, but not just stay away to lock yourself because you are going to be depressed.
Yeah.
But sometimes I even use those words to write poetry to now chant with it. So a kind of using those discouragement as raw materials or scraps that I can now recycle into art. So that was the notion I was having. How do you recycle? Just like you talk about recycling of the paper bags and all those things. How do those things were considered to be trash? So when people bully you and people discourage you, they are trash. So how do you recycle them? Some discourage you from the part of love, and some from the part of putting you down. So again, I check intent. So intent might be, because I am your mother, or because I am your father or family member, I love you and I want the best for you. So this thing you are doing wouldn't take you anywhere. And you can't blame them because that is what they see. That is what the society have created. So you have some ideal career path. So if you are not in that part, you are like the bad egg, the bad kid. So I was on this journey for sustainability and self-encouragement, which was where Sound Your Gong, actually came to be. And then if I get one encouragement, I will celebrate it. I will write about it. I will talk about it. Like, this person, like I got a message from this mentor, this person I respect, that they said. So I was constantly making an intentional effort to highlight more of the encouragement than the discouragement. In fact, I wasn't really thinking much about the discouragement. But if you would send me a little message, or you took a picture with me after I performed, I will post the picture. I'm like, after performing, somebody asked to take a picture,
Yeah.
So I would like somebody, I'm not a celebrity, somebody asking to take a picture. And then
Yeah.
somebody is telling me that, wow, you were good. I would almost want to record it and say, go and write about it, that this person said I was good. Because the truth is, no matter what you decide to do, not everybody would discourage you. Even if it is one person,
Yeah.
it's just the tiniest voice that would encourage you. What you do with that encouragement can shut all the discouragements up. But
Yeah.
will you ever be in a path where you have no discouragement? I don't think so. Because even the top celebrities, even the presidents, even the governors and ministers and prime ministers of countries are still getting discouragements.
Yeah.
So it's all about take that path that would make you be, that part that celebrated you, even if it's the tiniest part of the whole bread, take it and use it to make a mountain. And that was what
Yeah.
I was. So I was
Absolutely.
constantly doing stuff to encourage me, and
Mhm.
at the same time trying to encourage others, because there is something about encouraging others.
Mhm.
You end up encouraging yourself more and become more grounded without knowing. So
Yeah.
just like you are doing, having this podcast, because you created this space, you might not know, but unconsciously you are doing the same for yourself. You are getting more grounded in
Yeah.
whatever you choose to do, because now you have a platform where you are the light, where you are the voice of the voiceless, people who are like, what do I do? And you are there to show them the path. So in doing that, you do the same much more for yourself. So I was doing that. I was trying to talk to a lot of young people who are confused, and I didn't know whether I was going through the right path or not. I will tell you that. At some
Yeah.
point, of course, there will be uncertainty will set in. At some point, you would ask yourself some certain questions. Am I really on the right path? Because
Mhm.
you are a human being. And as you assimilate some of this negativity, some of these words, they start playing out. Or sometimes
Yeah.
you have your introspection and you are trying to ask yourself, what if they're right?
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. So I would
So
love
for
to
him,
hear.
I started looking at what is that thing that when I do, people see me without me,
Trying
putting
to.
in much effort.
Yeah.
So because there lies your blessing for me. There lies your publicity,
Mhm.
I don't know how I'll put it, but if there is something you do, you just do it without stress. And people see, even if it's cleaning the table, the way you clean the table, people see it, people spot it quickly without you doing much. That is what you are going to highlight. That is what you are going to elaborate, because
Yeah,
there,
because you do it with love, so you do it very well.
yes,
Okay.
because you do it very well and you do it without stress. Your heart just beat for it. Some people will want to create a bouquet of flower, and the way they will do it, you begin to wonder, is this a human being? Somebody
Yeah.
like me will just do it anyhow, and it's like, oh God, what kind of flower is this? But you might decide to do it, and it's looking like heaven. You look at
Yeah.
it and what is this? So if there is that thing you do, or that thing whenever you think about, you feel some excitement in your soul, then for me, that is something that you really need to bless more by a kind of enlightening, highlighting it more, developing more on it, getting
Mhm.
better at it. Because if you are seen without doing much, which means when you do much, wow, like it will be wow. And this is
Yeah.
what chanting did for me.
One of the
I
things I see with young people, they do it, and then the smallest, like they expect to hit success immediately. Like I did this thing that I think I'm passionate about, and like the world is not, I haven't gone viral, let's say, and then they kind of
exactly.
stop. But with you, you mentioned you had your articles and you kept approaching so many people.
Yes, yes.
How long did
I
you
can.
have to go, and how many people did you have to approach to realize, okay, this is something that's working, this is my thing?
I will tell you, it has been forever, and I'm still doing it. So
Mhm.
I have been on this journey for 9 years.
Wow.
And I have not hit it yet. Like I've not hit the the kind of, because again, you ask yourself, what is success? For some people, success is only when they have fat money in their accounts. For me, that's not what I see. I love money. I love money. Everybody loves
because
everybody loves money, but that is not my measurement of success. So for me, I check, where was I yesterday? Where am I today? Is it a progress or is it like a journey backward? If I am progressing, which means I am creating some impact. And if I am creating some impact, I am succeeding. That is how I see life. And until we die, we are going to be on that journey. Even the richest of people are still looking for riches. People are on constant journey to get that hard desire. So you have money, you still desire something. You still desire something until the day you die. People are always looking for something. And that is how life is. But a lot of young people don't understand it. They think that there's a part, a stage you will get to, and then you are like, oh, now I'm there. Even when you get there, the place you are looking at going, you begin to look for another part. You begin to look for another goal, another thing you want to, achieve. So I'm still on it. I had to go hungry to transport myself to a lot of events that I begged to perform. Nobody sent me. I am sending myself. I would go hungry. I lost my job. There was a lot of sacrifices. I lost relationships. So if I begin to count the things I lost for me to be, it brings tears to my eyes, because I lost a whole lot. I lost my job. I lost my respect from a lot of people. I lost value placed on me by a lot of people. They're like, well, she's just, they just wave you out as scrap.
I lost in your life anyway, right? If they don't support you.
Yeah, that is it. So I lost that. I lost relationship. I lost, it was just constant sacrifice.
Are you regretting now that you lost your job? Do you ever look back and you think I wish I was
Again, when I think about it now, I am excited, because for me to be losing such thing mean that, whoa, there is something in this thing that you are doing. There is something, because you are not seeing, like a tree without a ripe fruit in my place wouldn't get people throw stone at it. It's only when the tree has some beautiful mangoes and oranges ripe, and children will go to throw stone and sticks on it in order to pluck those fruits. So if you don't, for you to be out there, for you to stand out, for you to be seen, there are some sacrifices that you must give. That there are some sacrifices that you must have to a kind of just give to that part, to that thing, because for you to view a house and have a big house, even if you are not doing the job yourself, you need to make money to do that, right? So for you to be a professor, there's a whole lot of studies and writing of papers and going to academic conferences and being sleepless. So I have not seen that part where people say, oh, I just sit down and then the manna just started falling from heaven on me. Because are you in sports? Training. I can decide to say, oh, I can't work out today. If you are in sports and you are going for a kind of national sport competition, you are not going to say, oh, I can't work out, because you are going to be on constant workout. When you are tired, when you are sick, when you are down, you are working out. You want to get there. So if you are a dancer, you are like in ballet or whatever, there is constant practice, no matter the situation you find yourself, you are trying to get better, right? So when you are a mother, for instance, there is constant sacrifice you give to take care of the kids, whether you like it or not. They don't ask you, oh, today mom is not, so we're not going to bother her today. They are bothering her every day. So there is
that you have to go through.
Exactly. So you are going to constantly, sacrifice. If you think that, because again, people highlight the success, the sparkling part more than the challenges.
Yeah, of course.
A lot of young people think that, why am I not shining like this? Why am I not seeing like this?
start
But
overnight.
you're not going to ask them,
Yeah,
what did you have to do? Tell me the part I'm not saying. Tell me
yeah,
the part. I'll tell you, for every career, there is. If you want to come out with first class, you have to give in a lot of nights and days of studies. There
yeah.
is no choice about it. So for everything you are doing, there are sacrifices. Yeah, they can come in different capacities, again based on where you come from. If you are in Nigeria, you will even give more sacrifices because it's harder.
It's
So
hard.
in a
Yeah,
place where we are trying to be another kind of people, where we are trying to be English, we're trying to be lawyers, we're trying to be doctors, which
yeah.
is the societal ideal careers. You can imagine being a chant poet. What, like, people ask you, oh my goodness, what is chant poet again?
Mm,
Right? You get things like that, like,
yeah,
what the hell is that? Right? So you can imagine that kind of discouragement. But did it
yeah.
stop me? No. I tell you, this art was the only art, the only thing that gave me permission or open doors where I couldn't naturally get open doors. For instance, I go to events when I started growing and growing. And while it's, let's say, an event where the governor is like the special guest or whatever, while the directors and commissioners are sitting in the front and they are trying to find space for them close to the governor, I get the opportunity to go in front of the governor to stand and perform.
Wow.
So we'll get the open door. I met with my past governor and even the recent one in their offices because I was doing chanting. And
Mhm.
when I am performing, I come to them and that is how I perform. I look at you and I try to draw you into my chant. So I had the opportunity to sit on the same table with the governor of my state, not
Wow.
just
That's
this,
amazing.
but the
Yeah.
past, because I am that person who did something odd, who did what is not the ideal.
You're doing
So I
something which no one's done before. You're
exactly,
opening the door to
exactly.
something new. I would love to hear the rest of your story that you mentioned. You started going to different events and trying to
Begging.
convince them, begging them to let you perform this amazing art, which now governance of states want to see you like in
Exactly.
front of them. How did you get from that place to where to having
Consistency, persistence, consistency, getting better, self-development. I tell people that just because you do this, that is not enough. Get better. If you don't get better, you easily be swept away. So
yeah.
keep getting better. Keep getting better. If you are singing, go and find out what is it that will keep my voice. What is it that can, give me a healthy voice or a healthy physique or whatever. So be in that constant journey of getting better, and then be consistent. Don't say, oh, to this week I have done it, so the next one will be in the next 4 months. No,
Yeah,
you have to be doing it every day. In fact,
yeah,
when I tell people when you are growing, it's not time for you to rest. It's not time for you to be saying, oh, I'm going to just take it easy.
or it's
Once
the
in a while.
weekend, or it's like
And
holiday or
because,
whatever.
because you want to be seen, you will do
Yeah,
it again, 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 again. So
yeah,
it's constant journey to be better, to be seen.
and is it
And then persistent. When people break you, stand up. Break you, stand up again, fall, get up again, again and again and again. There is no endless.
like
There is
that?
no end to how persistent or how consistent you should be. I tell
Yeah,
you, no matter what you do, that is what I have seen on earth. No matter what you do in life, once you are consistent in doing as well as in getting better, once you are persistent, no matter the discouragement, there is no how you are not going to succeed with that. Like I said again, success
yeah,
in quotes, it's relative, but then there is no how, because it's just like being in tech, for instance, or being a graphic designer. As long as you continue to get better, to show, to be present, and you are persistent no matter the discouragement, girl, you are going to be seen. You are going to be celebrated because you are giving it your heart and spirit, right? So I continue. Some of those events that I beg to perform, some will not agree.
Was this mostly, was this in Nigeria or in America when you moved as well? And how
No,
did you,
no,
I
no.
guess,
No. America, I'm just a year in America. It's in Nigeria.
okay.
And I do a lot of crazy things. I take a lot of huge steps. For instance, I went to the UK when I was invited to perform. I wasn't just invited to perform. I reached out. So I reached out to an organizer of an event in the UK.
Yeah.
I've never traveled abroad. And I said, can you invite me to come and perform in the UK? And I'm like, huh?
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, who is that? I had always done that. I reach out to people. If I see the governor, I go to you. So it took 2 years before I was invited finally.
Mm-hmm.
Because as soon as I did that, there was this, who is this? The gods to ask me to invite you to the UK to come and perform. And from there, she was like, oh, okay, what do you do? I show. And then this lady, she was going to TED Talks in Houston. And she saw one of my videos. Can I use part of the video? Now, this is somebody I was trying to ask to allow me perform. It's now asking, can I use part of your video to show in my TED Talks? Because I'm talking about sustainability, indigenous sustainability of our folks and all that. I said, sure. Yeah. And then she used it in TED. So I went, my video went abroad before me. Wow. And she showed it. And then from that TED Talks, some other people saw me. I was featured in a film to chant in a film, which is 20 Pounds Dream, by a filmmaker who lived abroad. And then one of her friends was doing another film, documentary film on the Biafra War, the role of women in the Biafra War. And in the war, women were chanting a lot. And I was invited to chant. Now, I went to be invited to the UK. I wasn't invited yet, but that step of asking gave me some opportunities, some platforms to be seen. And then it took 2 years that I was invited. And when I was invited, right there in the UK, I got another invitation to go home and come back. So I went to the UK first in March. In June, I was back to the UK to perform an event. And when I came back, I decided that I was going to do an evening of performance, an evening of poetry with Amarachi. And people were like, are you crazy? Nobody know you in the UK. And I'm saying, but I want to do it. So again, I went back to this lady, Yvonne Mbanefo. I went back to her to say, can you help me to organize an evening of chant performance? She was like, I'm like, yeah. I like the woman because she is an encourager. And she said, well, that will be tough because this is summer and getting a space will be very hard. I said, it doesn't matter wherever it is, even if it's in a school. She said, my dear, this is not how the UK works. But finally, we were able to get a place, I think in the Waterloo, close to the Waterloo train station. Yeah. There was this old little space hall there that I don't think whether it's even in use. And that was where we worked. And there was no money, of course. I didn't have money. And then she said, so how do we go? I said, put money for ticket. Just take the money. I don't care. I just want to have this evening poetry. So we put money for tickets. She said, well, what we are going to do is to see if people can pay so that we can pay for the hall. I think they took 250 or 300 pounds. And this is a girl who is not in the UK. People don't know me in the UK. I started talking about it on social media, talking about inviting everybody that cared to listen. Please come to support me. I'm doing an evening of poetry with Amarachi. Please don't disappoint me. I started shouting and screaming. I sang my gong. I'm good in sounding my gong. Yeah. And I remember there was this man who is not Igbo, from the Henshaw family. He lived in the UK. I remember that I had once performed for his mother in another part of Nigeria, the Calabar. And I called him and said, I have a performance. Please come and invite me. He said, oh, I have traveled with my family for summer. I said, please, can you send the representative, please? Please don't disappoint me. Just send the representative. I don't care who the person is, just because it's 20 pounds that we wrote. Please just give anybody 20 pounds to come on your behalf. And he was like, what? I was like, at least the person can make video for you and show you. So he talked to one of his sisters or distant relative that worked with the Royal National Theatre, and they were talking about working on a play, The Three Sisters. That was when the lady did not just come. She came with directors from the Royal. Remember, Waterloo train station is just by the National Theatre. So they just walked to the space and they were there. And I remember Nadia 4 having some tears in her eyes when I started chanting. And after that, there was a conversation.
Yeah.
Wow. So the conversation was like, we have this play, the Three Sisters that we want to do. We are still at the stage of testing out the cast. Of course, everybody have been given their agreements. The cast have been chosen. But it is not part of the play. But maybe we can just find a place to squeeze this in. And then I lived in Nigeria. And my visa would be expiring. So I told her, like, I live in Nigeria, like, oh my goodness. But then she said, okay, maybe you can just come for the test run. Let's just. So I joined them for that 1 week of test run. And National Theatre was kind. They were giving me, I think, £50 a day. I came for like 5 days. And I did not just go there to test run or to show my art. I went there because Nadia 4 loved me. She loved the art. She didn't hear what I was saying at all. But when I came, she had told everybody in the National Theatre, and she told them to close their eyes while I chanted.
Wow.
That was a huge respect for the art. And they closed their eyes and I chanted, and I was like, wow, 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 wow. So I didn't stop at that. I started, when there was a mistake in trying to mention some of the names in my language, I would correct. They were searching for a speech or something. I told them the name. That is my culture. So I knew a lot of things about what they were trying to say or how to pronounce. So I was helping out in other ways.
Yeah.
So I was more useful, not just to come and show my art, but I try to help out. Even if they are paid people to do that, I was trying to, maybe I can, join in with others and trying to get it better. So I became a kind of value for the play. I went back to it.
That's so amazing.
Because it took a while to get the call. I say, can you come and join us, because Nadia 4 wouldn't stop talking about you, and
you mesmerized everyone already. Yeah.
Yes, we just have to
I see it's like a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people who go to another country, especially like, for example, myself as an immigrant, you kind of move to a new country apologetically. Like, you want to, over time, you kind of erase your culture but little by little to fit in, because if you don't fit in, you get bullied, you don't get a job. Even in school, you get bullied by kids. Then when you get a job, you don't get accepted by your colleagues. And the less you stand out, the better it is for you to have a peaceful life. Well, firstly, not only you didn't fit in, you brought your culture from Nigeria to America and the UK. How did you have the confidence to be so unapologetic about it, like you said to me before, and like really represent and teach people and open up their mind and their hearts to new things?
So I tell people self-development. I don't stop at doing so. I try to get better, and in trying to get better, once you self-develop, once you get better, you'll be confident. So confidence comes with, I tell people that confidence comes with self-development. It's just, for instance, let's say you are the best graphic designer.
Yeah.
And you know that you are the best graphic designer, because whenever you come out in a group, you are the best. And people see the best. People see what is good. Even if they might not like you, they might like, who the hell is this? But if you are the best, my girl, you are going to be invited to do the job. So I try to get better. I try to, I don't know, but even as a young person, like I told you, I didn't have life easy. And even in Nigeria, I was already battling with the bully. It's not just about traveling. So I went to conferences. I went to British Council. I was trained as a festival manager, British Council training. I was organizing events and organizing things in Nigeria. I was going from one training to the other. I think British Council chose me 3 times, and they're like, "Ooh, I'm going to let other people apply now." So because I will keep applying, I will keep searching for people who didn't know about that. I would research.
Yeah.
Get selected, and I went to South Africa to be part of before I went to the UK, part of the Atelier for Young Festival Manager. Now, this was a training organized by the European Festival Academy. That did not discourage me. I'm from Africa. It did not discourage me. I applied anyway. And then they were supposed to pay like 2,000 euros or something. I didn't have nothing. And I wrote them, I told my story, and I said, I don't have money, but I want to be there. Please don't say no. Just encourage me to be there. I really want to be there. I reach out. And at the end of the day, what I needed to now do was to get my flight. People were paying 2,000 euros to go for this, and I was allowed to come because I wouldn't let them rest. I would write and I
love that motivation.
Yes, and say, please, oh no, you have to. What? You don't have me there? No. Who is the life of the event? I need to come. I need to be trained. I need this, the value. So I will continue to push to tell you that I am the person you need. And bullying, you know, for me, it's becoming part of life. It doesn't discourage me.
It doesn't go away. It's always there.
It will never, like I said, even as celebrities suffer it more. Because little mistake, even if you brush your hair, maybe one edge wasn't very smooth, people would just leave all of that part and take a picture of that little part that wasn't very smooth and say she doesn't even have a comb. She couldn't even brush. This person is so unkind. So even the celebrities are suffering the same. So who the hell are you? You have to stand, because if you want to stand out anyway, you are going to be bullied more. So if you can't take it, you can as well just hide in your room, your closet, and don't come out at all. So because as soon as you do, people will bully you. They will say, oh, you didn't draw your eyebrow very well. Your lipstick, we can see some part this way. Your earrings didn't fit your fashion. Oh, you didn't, oh, this is not the... People are constantly looking for something to criticize. You. So it's something that you have to know that if I am coming out to be seen, the bullying will increase. It will not reduce, my dears. So when people tell you that, oh, you get to some point and everybody loves you, it's not true. They will not love you. They will be waiting for you to fall, and they will take pictures of you and trend the whole of social media. If they in any way see a picture of you where they think you are nude, oh my goodness, you are gone. They are everywhere. So it's for you to kind of develop that tough skin. Develop that tough skin to shield your heart and to shield your mind. You are going to do that by getting better. See, as soon as it's just like being in a class where you are the most intelligent. People might not love you, but they don't have any option anyway than to just, accept you, because you are the most intelligent student in the class. So sometimes they might have assignment, they don't know what to do. They're like, oh, it's not like I like her, but she's the one who knows it. So can I just talk to her or something? Because you are the best. You are the best. So wherever you find yourself, instead of trying to push away discouragers or the negativity, invest in yourself to shine. Once you are the best in that spot, they will have no option. They begin to suppress their discouraging voices. They begin to suppress their bullying, because now you are the best and you are the highly sought after. People want you. The class wants you. This bully need you to pass this exam. They need you to explain. If you are called upon to go to the board and just solve a mathematical problem, and you just go there and in seconds you just do it, and everybody is having sleepless night for this, people are sweating, but you just go there like it's nothing and you just solve it. Tell me they're not going to celebrate you. They might not love you, but they have no option. So this is what I do. So when I travel, just like here, even the internship I just finished, I had to go on LinkedIn. I looked for the director. I saw the director of the museum, and I wrote the director. She said that we don't have any opening. I said, oh, you need me. I
love that.
Oh my goodness, you need
because
me.
You know what you have to offer. So
of course, I say, oh my goodness, you don't have me in your museum. What? You need me. And then she was like, what? I don't understand. You know what they will do? They will type your name to know more about you. Who is this person? Like, who is giving this person these gods? And then when they are trying to know about you, you are selling yourself. They are seeing your videos. They are
Mm.
seeing your content. Like, okay, let me just know more. Before you know it, some people in some big organizations are checking you out. So they might say no at the end of the day. But you know what? You have given them the opportunity to check you out.
I love that.
Someday they might just need you and say, you
Yeah.
know what? There is this person that kept harassing us. Let's call the person. Because people, organizations, the
Mm.
society is in constant need of those who make it better, of those
Yeah.
who make it, balanced. So at some point, you might get no, 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 100 no's, and you get a yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? That yes will usually be loud because you have gotten a long list of no's. That when the yes come, it just have to
So
be the best.
yeah.
So
And
you just keep getting better, keep doing your thing. And I
exactly.
tell you, you don't need to suppress yourself to fit in.
Mhm.
Here in the US, this is just my 1 year. They already know me. They're like, oh my God, this girl, allow people to
She's
express
on
themselves.
it. Yeah.
Angry, but you have to, this is who I am. I can't stop being me. I can't throw away my culture. But they say you have accent. Yeah, everybody have an accent. If an
Mm.
American comes to England, they would want the
They will have
American
an American accent. Yeah.
American accent. Yeah. The same
Um,
thing. When somebody
yeah,
from England comes to America, it's the same thing. So everybody have an accent. So don't let
exactly.
people say, "Oh, you have an accent. What is
So
that?
what? Yeah, because I'm not English. So
What
you
is
think
wrong with
everyone's
being having
English.
an accent? I don't understand it." So
Yeah.
you have an accent? Oh yes, I do. So you laugh at me, I laugh along with you. You
Mm,
mock me, I mock myself more with you. So
mm.
it's like, what can we do to this girl? She said, oh, so people called me village girl. I started calling myself village girl. I
Love
like
that. What's wrong with that? Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. So in Nigeria, when they call you village girl, they're trying to say this person is a timid, this and that.
Uh,
Yeah, I started celebrating myself. Like I tell them now I am an international village girl.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I started calling myself the Igbo Global Ambassador. And I am. In fact,
Yeah.
the place I just finished my internship now gave me that name official because that is what I have been calling myself. They now called me
Exactly.
the West Africa Igbo Global Ambassador. Right?
Wow.
So it
That's
just
amazing. Yeah.
keep getting better, keep doing what you're doing. You only have yourself to prove.
Mm,
Prove to yourself that you didn't make the wrong choice by getting better,
mm-hmm.
by being consistent, by loving yourself. Love yourself and love your art in such a way that you nurture it. You nurture it. You keep it just like having a plant. If you
Yeah.
abandon that plant, it's going to start dying. If you
Yeah.
nurture the plant will grow better. So
Yeah.
just nurture your art, nurture what you do, nurture yourself, love yourself, take care of yourself, celebrate yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
as you do that, you are going to be shocked where you will see yourself someday.
Yeah.
Because in trying to be consistent and do those eyes that need to see, sometimes you can do something for 10 years. It just takes just one person to spot you. And I tell you, the story will become different. Now you've
Yeah.
done this for so many years, and just one person will say, you know what? Next week we are going to be having the queen. How about you come to show us this?
Mm.
Because you are good, because that is your time. You are ready. What are
Yeah.
you going to jump on that? No, because you have to have done something for somebody to say, how have I come to perform for the queen? So you just have to start continue to get better. If you are the best movie editor in the whole world, I tell you, you will have your schedule will be back to back filled up. If you
Yeah.
are the best writer in the whole world, you are not going to be out of job. If you are the best performer, the best entertainer, the best DJ, the best engineer, the best builder of anything, the best architect, you are going to be seen. The world need the best. They need people who can do, who can deliver.
Yeah.
So the best way to be
And
to
well,
be standing is to be continue be on the path to be the best, not on the path to listen to discouragement because
yeah.
it's not stop. It's never going to stop.
I love that.
Unfortunately, it won't stop.
Yeah.
So people think it will stop at some point. It doesn't stop. It does.
Yeah.
Does.
That's so amazing. I'm more like so inspired by that. And I want to kind of finish this on where we started with your performance art. It's, we said it's kind of a niche area, but I see more people kind of try to learn and show interest. What advice do you have for someone who might want to go into performance art, or maybe even more like niche into chanting, like, or some career path which is like along the lines of this, which is quite niche, or maybe it's not been done before?
Yes.
What advice do you have for that person? Maybe like if they could do two things today without any resources or any money, what should they do? Where should they get started?
So I will tell you that be your first spectator, be your first audience. So perform for yourself. If you don't like what you see, then it means you need to either quit or you get better. So I perform for myself. Oh, you need to see me dancing for myself or performing for myself. I look crazy.
In the mirror.
In front of the mirror, smiling like I'm entertaining someone else. And in the mirror, I see the spectator. While out here, this is the performer. So you see me go to the front of the mirror, and I laugh and I smile. I'm like, oh my goodness, oh God, you're so good, girl. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So you be your very first customer, your first audience, your first clients, your first spectator. You be your own first. Don't wait for someone else. If you wait for someone else, you might be discouraged. So be your first customer in the general sense, whatever you do. Are you a graphic designer? Design for yourself. Use your picture, whatever. Design for yourself and love it. And then you put it out. Secondly, is that if you are doing something that has never been done, woo, you are special. You are special because the world is tired of things that have been done before. They want to, the world they might not say it. The world wants to see things that have not been done. Because the things that have been done have taken us nowhere very special. So we are trying to see, yes, you can be an engineer, but add a little thing that will make you different. You can be a doctor, but are you a doctor that smile for the patient or take care of kids, or if there is a way you handle the old people? That is, they will not talk about a doctor. They'll talk about that quality that make you different, right? So that thing you do, look for a sport, look for that sport that is different in it and highlight that part, because in that part is where your light will shine. That tiny little spot is where your light will shine. If you are a nurse or you are a singer or whatever, maybe there is a part when you are singing, there's a part that your voice will shake and people are like, whoa, or the part where your voice will go high pitch. That might be the sport. So that sport that people see you. For me, I don't just perform. So I have my techniques. So I don't like stages. I come to the audience because I know most of them don't understand my language. So for me to really get them, I come to them. So instead of hanging up there in the stage, I come to the people. I look at you like I want to take you in. And I tell you, you have goosebumps on you because there is no how you can. When I am in front of you, looking direct into your eyes and chanting with a broad smile, so you will be like, oh. Sometimes when I am in front of people, they are like shocked.
They're taking the energy. Yeah.
So they will freeze until like I have to release them to unfreeze. So you look for that technique. So that's with smile, because once I'm in front of you, I give in that smile. Or if it is some of those performances where I cry, you can imagine me being in front of you and having these tears. Tell me you won't be captured by that. You'll be like, what is happening here? So look for that part that might not be that your selling point. Even big organizations have their selling point. It could be in their packaging. It could be in the tips they give, or the bonus or whatever. Even banks, every organization have the selling point. So when you look at their advert, they are not just talking about the product. They are telling you about the selling point, that advantage that you get. So sell value, not just what you do. Decide to be selling the value, not the product alone, because people are focused on products. I am a performer, so we have millions of performers everywhere. So what is so special about being a performer? Right? But what are you? What is that thing that is so special? What the bloody hell we are performers? So there must be something. Why did Nadia Fall call me when I went back to Nigeria to come back to the UK to perform? There are performers in the UK. So what is that thing that you have called me? Is it the language? Is it the way I enchant the people? Is it my smiles? Is it the voice? What is it? Look for that and begin to highlight it. So be your first spectator. Make sure that you are developing your selling point and be consistent. Whatever you do, just as long as it's not crime, just be consistent. Be your first spectator. Always practice. So develop your selling point, and I tell you, you are going to succeed.
Wow.
It may sound like, it's more easier said than done, but I tell you, if you know my journey, if you know what I had to go through, and I am here today, if you can imagine performing with my language, and I am traveling abroad now, I'm traveling everywhere, places that don't understand my language, and I am still doing it. So you can imagine. So if you can do that, please continue. And I tell you, there lie your success. Success in sense, I don't know where money, but in Naira, Chant Performance was the first thing that gave me ₦1 million. Chant Performance is the first thing that gave me 2 million naira. Chant Performance is the first thing that gave me some dollars and pounds to count up to 1,000 pounds. It was Chant Performance, the same thing I used to go and beg, please, can you allow me just a minute? The same thing.
And why was it so important to you? Why do you think it's important to keep in touch with your culture and your roots? Because a lot of people, it fades away over time, especially with the next generation. Why are you so passionate about this?
So for me, I always say that you can't love others if you don't love yourself. And now looking at it in a broad sense, if I hate myself, my identity, because your culture, your heritage, your language, all this is your identity. If you hate yourself, who you are, where you come from, all that makes you you, it will be difficult to really love another. You have to be you, original, to be grounded in life. If you are not grounded in your own sense, in your own little, that thing that just makes you you. I am Igbo, I can't change it. I was born into that identity. I grew up knowing that identity. There is my ancestry is that identity. I can't reject it. This is who I am. So, and all parts of the world, they remain who they are, even as they grow into the modern space. Now, even when I am a culture promoter, a language promoter, or I try to hold this art that is in my indigenous language, guess what? It has made me to see more talent from all over the world. I go, like I told you, Britain got talent, America got talent, all the countries got talent, India got talent, and all those things. I listen to Arabic songs. Now I appreciate people's culture more.
Yeah.
So that diversity and inclusion is easy for me. There is nowhere you put me now that I cannot mingle with people, because I don't hate people. I don't go hating on someone because they are who they are. Right. A lot of people hate you for being you, not because you did anything wrong, but because, oh, this is an immigrant, or this is not from here. If you love yourself enough, I'm talking about the real divine love, not the societal creation of love. If you love yourself a lot, for instance, the way I love my language, if I hear somebody speaking Spanish, I'm like, what a romantic language. Oh my goodness. If I hear French, I'm like, oh my, what language is that? Because now I am drawn to languages. I just love language. I listen to, sometimes I want to sleep, I listen to Arabic song or Spanish song or Italian song or French or India or whatever. I love it because I am loving my language, because I love the whole essence of cultural identity. I am appreciating other people's culture more. And so when I see particular hairstyle, if I begin to connect the dots of what unites us, I'm like, we have something similar because I know mine, right? So there is how your hair or your bead, like what you're wearing on your neck, I'm like, oh, we have something like that. We have beads like that. Wow. So you see, you easily spot the connecting dots that make a whole, that make the world, that make the universe. But when you don't like yourself, there is a vacuum. And so when the cycle comes and you're supposed to connect it to yours, there is a vacuum there. So there is nothing there to connect to. So but when you feel your side, then as it begins to connect, you begin to see similarities instead of what divides us. So because people don't even know who they are, we easily see the things that divide us, because how do you know things that connect you when you don't even know you?
Exactly.
So only when you know you, you begin to connect. So you see children that do better when they are grown to have their identity, because now they know who they are. You see children, they are more confident. They tend to be more grounded, because I know me, and this is me. This is my parents. This is where I come from. If you see them battling from a kind of being in a space that don't celebrate them, being in a space that is scattered. Some people, like, for instance, being in a family where it's all struggle, people are just not there. The children need more care to be balanced in the society, because they have a major aspect of them taken away. Either their mother is not there, or their father is not there, or they don't have the love. But if you see them grown with all the love, father, mother, brother, sister, aunties, uncles, everybody is loving and nurturing the child grows to be a better person, to be whole. So that is how it is with who you are in the society. If you hate yourself, there is a vacuum, and it's going to cause some major problems in the world. But if you love yourself, you are going to love others. You are going to see the similarities in others. So for me, it is our identity. And if you don't love your identity, you don't want to appreciate who you are, I see that as a major problem. And for me, it's easier for me now to be in the midst of anybody, wherever the country, wherever the origin, wherever the identity. I love to be there, because I love people's cultures. I love to celebrate cultures. I love the colors. I love the laughter, the exercise, the fashion. I love all those because I love mine. So it's very important, and it makes us grounded, and it gives us confidence, because in your constant trying to be someone else, you begin to lose your self-esteem.
Exactly.
You are not just there, because you are not the other person. You are just trying to be a version, a photocopy version of the person, not you. If you are you, oh my God, that is where you become unapologetic, right? Even as you try to adopt some techniques all over the world, modern techniques to get better. So today I can use laptop or phone and elaborate what I do. Even though we won't even want to see those originalities. People are tired of all these fake things. They want to see originalities. People are getting tired. So if you come out in a place and you see dancers, I tell you, you will quickly spot the one that you've not seen before. You want to like, what's that? Or if it's something you see every day, you just be passing like it's nothing.
Exactly. Right? I think what you said is it all goes back to love, because if you love yourself, you show other people who you are, what your culture is, and you can't hate something that you know. I think you usually hate things that you don't know anything about, or you're scared of things that you don't know about. It's like, oh, people have this misconception, this is what Arabs are like, or this is what Asian people are like. And you don't really know. So because you don't know, you either hate or you're scared of it. But when you know and you learn about it, you love it, and it brings everyone together. And that's the beauty of your art and what you are doing. And I'm so inspired, and it's just going to be my new hobby from today, listening to
Thank you.
Really? No, I
Thank
love
you
it.
so much.
It's
Thank
such a
you.
pleasure having you. Where can people find you on social media? Where do you post your videos, articles, everything? Because I'm sure it's something a lot of people are interested in learning more about.
Yeah, so I am everywhere with my name. I made it very easy so that people don't search too much. So on Facebook, which is my major space, I am Amarachi Attamah, Amarachi Amarachi, and Attamah Attamah. And on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on
All the social
uh,
media channels.
I just opened TikTok. They said TikTok is now the in
Oh,
thing. I just
your TikTok
oh
is
my
the
God,
platform to be on.
I don't even know what to do there.
I'm
So
telling you, it's addictive.
so, but on YouTube, I have Amarachi Attamah and I have Nwadioramma TV. I opened Amarachi Attamah because I knew that people might not know, might find it difficult finding Nwadioramma. So, but once you find Amarachi Attamah, you'll be connected to some of my videos, even on Nwadioramma TV. So everywhere I am, all my social media space, including LinkedIn, which is more professional, I still sell my art there. I still post video there. I don't care. So it's my responsibility to sound my gong, and wherever you find me, I am sounding my gong. So all the social media spaces that you can Google, just type Amarachi Attamah. You must get connected with some of my videos and pictures and articles and all that.
Amazing. That's such a beautiful start of a journey for everyone to start watching your journey and seeing you hopefully come to the UK, and maybe some of our followers can come and see
Yeah,
you.
I'll come again. I'll come
Yeah,
again and again.
for
I
sure.
love the UK. It really gave me that start for the international space, and it
Yeah.
did it so well.
Mhm.
So yes, I would love to come again and again to the UK. I have a
Amazing.
bond now with the UK. A lot of even the podcast you're featuring me, a lot of the articles, a lot of the
Yeah.
workshops I attend and speaking engagements are coming from the UK. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, there's something about the UK. Maybe I just have to go back.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
love to learn about different
Yeah.
cultures. So I'm sure, yeah, can't wait to see you hopefully one day in person. And thank you so much for
Yes.
coming to our
Thank
channel.
you. I really
Take care.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.